Hi there, I'm Tina. Welcome to this yoga foundational video for the yoga asana downward facing dog. Now, if you've ever heard of yoga, you have heard of downward facing dog. It is one of the most prominent poses that you can hear about in yoga. It's often used as advertisement for yoga. It's a very, 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 very basic pose for yoga. So, downward facing dog is a wonderful pose. It is an inversion, which means your chest, your head is below your pelvis, your head is below your heart, which means it's a really good pose to reset and foster really good nervous system health. So it's good for the nervous system, and it's also really great for stretching and strengthening the legs, both the quads and the hamstrings, stretches the ankles, strengthens the arms and shoulders, and really can help improve your focus and your concentration. So that being said, it's an all-around great pose and you're going to love it. So let's go ahead and get into the alignment for downward facing dog. So for downward facing dog, we're going to go ahead and start on hands and knees. Now, when you are in downward facing dog, you're going to walk your hands out approximately one hand length ahead of your shoulders. So your palms will be out in front of you further than your shoulders. Your fingers and your palms are very important in this pose. So your palms will be firmly planted onto the mat, fingers spread wide, pressing into all 10 fingers and creating a little dome effect in the palms. So you're kind of like a little suction cup if you can. Your arm, your elbow creases should be rotating towards the front of the room if that's possible for you. And then once you have your arms and your hands settled, you'll go ahead and tuck those toes and go ahead and raise those hips right up, pressing those hips up to the ceiling, keeping those knees bent, pressing through those palms, pressing the chest toward the thighs. Now you'll notice that I have my knees bent here, and that's because that is okay. If this is your downward facing dog, that's fine. Now this is easier for your hamstrings, and so you're going to find your sweet spot here. Now your arms are long and strong. Your elbow creases are rotating toward the front of the room. Your shoulders are back and away from your ears. And there's a long line of energy from your wrists really to your tailbone. Once you have that settled, and you want to try to pull those heels toward the mat as much as possible. And you can keep those knees bent as much as you want, but go ahead and play with lengthening the legs. You're not going to try to lock the legs, but you are going to keep them a little bit. There's a tiny bend in those knees, and pushing those heels toward the mat, lengthening the legs, pushing that tailbone up to the ceiling, pressing still through those arms, and there you have it. Downward facing dog, a very, very iconic pose for yoga, and one that works the entire body. To come out of this, you go ahead and just come to the knees and sit back. There you have it for downward facing dog. Thanks for joining me.